on The Indian Doctor.
You've come all the way from India? Yes.
Prem and Kamini Sharma have just arrived in Wales.
Welcome to your new home.
And if their new town isn't sure about them,
You have to watch those people.
the feeling is mutual.
They're peasants, Prem.
The award-winning series.
Need a good drama to dig into? Let us introduce The Indian Doctor. All 3 seasons are now available here in Colorado only on PBS 12. Go to pbs12.org/passport to binge.
Well, we've been a little bit chatty today, so we're going to go right to our very favorite part of the show, Disgrace of the Week. As always, Ms. Calhoun, please start us off.
We all know that it's been very difficult since you have giant corporate hedge funds and conglomerations buying local daily papers. But you will never find a better example of just how bad things have gotten than in Pueblo, where the Pueblo chieftain in their food section took a story from Gannett in their pre-printed food that was lauding Hatch chilies. In Pueblo, those are fighting words, and the Pueblo chieftain has had to apologize. Pueblo politicians have been laughing about it. Let's remember, even when you might be owned by an out-of-state conglomerate, but somebody can still read the story and think, this really might not work in Pueblo.
The chieftain would have received less criticism if they burned down City Hall in Pueblo than they did.
Oh, they might have been cheered.
That is true. David, we go to you.
The Colorado Rockies, not only a systemically racist organization, but a systemically stupid one, where they got themselves in a furor over a fan who had supposedly been yelling a racial epithet on the field at a player of the opposing team. And of course, it got picked up by the Washington Post and CNN and the Associated Press. And then if you went back and listened to the tape, it was a grandfather who was plainly visible, turning away from the action, not looking at the opposing player, and calling out to the Rockies' moronic mascot, Dinger, yelling, "Dinger, Dinger, Dinger." And the Rockies management is bad in so many ways, and this just reinforces what we've already known.
Natasha, we go to you for your Disgrace of the Week.
Well, it's hard to follow up both of those things. In particular, I think people have looked for a new mascot for the Rockies for some time, so it'll be interesting to see if that continues. This isn't really someone to blame in particular, but the air around here has just been so bad. I know we're seeing some fresher air today. Hopefully that continues through the weekend so people can enjoy outside Colorado a little more.
Marianne, we go to you.
I'm going to go for something a little meaty, and I'm going to steal it from Patty. What's going on in Afghanistan right now is absolutely horrific. It looks like the Taliban will be in control of the country in weeks, if not days. And it's unfortunate that after 20 plus years of the United States being at war there, that not only did we not make the situation work out the way I think most administrations thought, but that we have not done a great job of taking care of the Afghan people who helped our American soldiers.
And to double down on that disgrace, you have presidents of both parties who had 20 years. This is not on any one president's watch. It's a good point. Time to the happier part of what we do. Time to say something nice about somebody. Patty.
Well, as we've seen with Mike Lindell, truth is stranger than fiction, and we got another great episode today when the creators of South Park, Colorado hometown boys, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, announced in a Facebook Live with Governor Jared Polis that they have come to an agreement to buy Casa Bonita. This is not a joke. It's not an episode of South Park. It is Friday the 13th, but they swear it's true that if they can, because Casa Bonita is currently in bankruptcy court, they are going to take it over. Imagine Casa Bonita run by South Park. And now if those two could just go buy the Colorado Rockies, we know they have enough money. They just made a $900 million deal with Viacom. Let's get the Colorado Rockies too. And we can just put Dinger in Black Bart's cave forever at Casa Bonita.
A phenomenal episode. There's a variety of star episodes you have with Patty Calhoun's history at this program. This is one of them, Patty. Well done. David.
University of Colorado professor Roger Pilkey, who is a climatologist and has been telling the public since the 1980s how important it is to take constructive steps to address the problem of global warming. But he, unlike many people who would agree with what I just said, is also very intellectually honest and rigorous. And so in his testimony before the Senate a few weeks ago, he explained how so much of what's being done in the supposed name of climate science, like the Ocasio-Cortez Climate Corps program and many other things, have nothing to do with actually helping the environment and are just bad political programs, wolves in sheep's clothing, doing their fakery in the supposed cause of climate change.
Natasha, we go to you next for your Say Something Nice.
As a journalist who loves a good data dump, when this new census information comes out, it's basically a holiday, especially when you get to that 9-year out mark and you start using data and you just cringe every time because you know it's so low. It's really exciting to start looking at those numbers and digging into what it tells us about our populations. And kudos to the Census Bureau for being able to put it together in what was certainly unprecedented times.
And Marianne.
I want to give a shout out to Fremont County Clerk Justin Grantham, who recently came out against the most notable public figure in his area, which is State Representative Ron Hanks, complaining about how Hanks has made life difficult for the county clerks in his district, including death threats against him, against the county clerk, I believe, in Chaffee County as well. That takes courage in this very polarized environment that we live in. So kudos to Clerk Grantham, who is the son of former Senate President Kevin Grantham.
And I have to add two very quick thank yous and say something nice. One to Tim Jackson, our good friend at the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association, hooked us up with some frozen treats last week for the crew and everybody here at Colorado Inside Out. Thank you, Tim. And of course, a new outlet carrying Colorado Inside Out, KVNF, Mountain Grown Community Radio, public radio in Paonia, Colorado, broadcasting throughout the Western Slope, now carrying Colorado Inside Out every week. Thank you for joining our expanding network of affiliates.